Picture this. You walk into a party where you know almost no one. You scan the room. Before you've even grabbed a drink, a stranger turns, locks eyes with you, and smiles. In about the time it takes to blink twice, a silent exchange happens. Without a single word, you've decided if they are friendly, guarded, or exhausting to talk to. And the unsettling part is that they've just decided the exact same thing about you. They have read your entire vibe. Astrology has a name for this frequency you broadcast. It's your rising sign, or your ascendant. If your sun sign represents your core self, your rising sign is the opening scene. It is the social mask you wear out into the world before people get close enough to see the rest. When someone reads your ascendant description out loud, it often makes people gasp. It sounds less like a generic horoscope and more like someone has been quietly watching you walk into rooms your entire life.
The mechanics behind that accuracy are a lot wilder than astrology. We're dealing with a human-made spell, cast in about 6 seconds. The magic of the first impression is the result of a highly legible signal we are actively projecting into the room. To understand how strangers read you so fast, we have to look at the social universe we navigate every day. Whenever you cross a threshold into a new space, you automatically step into a role. Sociologists call this the front stage, the performance you give for an audience. Psychologists call it self-monitoring. Some people tune this mask constantly, shifting their volume and tone to match the room, while others show up exactly the same in every environment. Either way, that front stage mask is incredibly loud. A researcher named Nalini Ambati proved this by filming graduate teaching fellows while they worked. She chopped the footage into silent, context-free clips, just a few seconds of a person being themselves, and asked complete strangers to rate them. This graph maps what Ambati found. One line tracks snap ratings from strangers watching 6 seconds of silent video. The second tracks evaluations from students in those classrooms for an entire semester. The correlation hit 0.76. 6 seconds perfectly matched months of experience. Researchers call this brain function thin slicing. You take a paper-thin sliver of someone's behavior and instantly calculate the whole loaf. Your brain runs the math on the tempo of their walk, the speed of their smile, and their open or bracing shoulders. When a stranger identifies your rising sign vibe, they have successfully thin-sliced the physical data of your front stage mask. Knowing strangers can accurately read your mask is only half the equation. The process takes a turn when we look at how our behavior reacts to those split-second judgments. Consider a 1974 study by Mark Snyder. He paired up men and women who had never met to have a conversation over a phone line. Before the call, Snyder handed the men a photo and told them it was the woman they were about to speak with. The fake photos planted a hidden expectation in the men's minds. Women whose partners believed they were beautiful became noticeably warmer and more outgoing. Psychologists call this behavioral confirmation. People's assumptions dictate their treatment of you, which shapes your response into a self-fulfilling loop. This is the secret engine of your rising sign. You project a specific signal. Strangers then slice it in seconds, and they start treating you like the person that signal suggests. You respond by leaning in. The mask actively recruits the room to keep it in place. If human psychology explains the vibe, the question remains, why does a birth chart feel so chillingly personal? That sensation comes from the Barnum effect. As humans, we crave being understood. When we are handed a vague, general statement that could apply to almost anyone, our brains accept the parts that fit, skip the parts that don't, and assume the entire thing was written specifically for us. This effect goes into overdrive when you wrap a description in the mysterious authority of ancient cosmic forces. Add in a specific calculation based on the exact minute of your birth, and the resulting portrait bypasses your logical defenses. We are looking at 4 gears turning at once. You project an unconscious front stage mask, strangers then slice it, the behavioral confirmation loop forces your actions to match their expectations, and finally, the Barnum effect makes the whole thing feel like fate. This is a perfectly constructed psychological feedback loop that just happens to mimic cosmic destiny. Stripping away the mysticism is exactly what makes the rising sign a usable tool. Most people spend their entire lives on social autopilot, broadcasting a signal they never chose.
You might lead with a guarded, wary watchfulness because it kept you safe a long time ago, without ever noticing you were still doing it. Realizing you have a mask gives you the agency to decide whether to keep it or intentionally lean into a new one. You can choose to drop the armor or deliberately lead with the warmth that opens doors for you. You have been writing this prophecy yourself, casting the social spell every time you walk through a door. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is your rising sign? And does that mask match the face you show to strangers? Tell me about a time someone read your vibe in seconds and got it right.
Give this video a like, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive, and until then, keep looking up. Just don't forget to look in the mirror too.